Well, right now, new mandatory water restrictions are in effect across the Charlotte area as drought conditions are continuing to worsen across the Carolinas. Charlotte Water began enforcing stage 2 restrictions yesterday, limiting lawn watering and other non-essential water use to help protect some of the region's water supply. Joining us this morning is Natalie Bouchard, Community Education and Outreach Coordinator for Charlotte Water. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me this morning.
All right, so let's start here. Obviously, you guys have upgraded the severity of the restrictions. How serious, for those at home, are the drought conditions in our area leading to those stage 2 restrictions?
Absolutely. So the Drought Management Advisory Group looks at 3 key factors to determine the drought stage that we're in. So river and lake levels, stream levels feeding the river, and then the U.S. Drought Monitor. So right now, those indicators are prompting us to act now to prevent more serious impacts and to protect essential services. So droughts don't pass in a few days like storms do. They require consistent action from all of us. And it's important to note that these mandatory water restrictions are necessary to protect our system and ensure reliable service for essential needs.
Walk us through what some of the new restrictions are and what could happen if people choose not to follow them.
Absolutely. So, like you mentioned, watering schedules are impacted. We're asking residential customers, to water only from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. We're asking that customers don't use water non-essentially, so washing cars at home, not filling pools, not using decorative water features that don't support aquatic life, basically any non-essential water use. And so right now there's a link on charlottewater.org where members of the public can report restricted water use that they see. And then Charlotte Water will investigate these reports and can levy fines starting at $100 for customers that aren't in compliance.
And Natalie, in the future, if we don't receive the water we need and the drought continues, can these restrictions worsen or be upgraded even more?
Absolutely. So at this point, like I said, conditions have reached a point where we need to act now. This is one of the driest springs on record for the Catawba Watery Basin, and recovery from this drought will take sustained rainfall over months, not 1 or 2 rainstorms. But acting early helps avoid these more severe restrictions, and that's the consequence heading into stage 3 extreme or stage 4 severe drought. But you should know the Drought Management Advisory Group reviews data consistently, and updates will be provided to the public as conditions change.
Perfect. One final question for you. Beyond what Charlotte Water is already advising, what are some other ways families can do to help reduce water use inside of their homes?
Absolutely. So we like to say every drop counts. We'll continue to talk about the stage 2 mandatory restrictions and reducing non-essential use, but there's definitely other ways to save water, like you said, things like taking shorter showers. A lot of homes nowadays have energy efficient appliances, and those do make a big difference, as well as having low flow rate shower heads, spigots, and faucets. Sometimes a tip like collecting water used to rinse fruit and vegetables and reuse it for watering potted plants, things like that. But overall, just be mindful about water use and water waste, and keep in mind, like we like to say, every drop counts.
All right. Thank you for your insightful interview, Natalie Bouchard with Charlotte Water. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.